So we are living, as it were, on many, many levels of rhythm. This is the nature of change. If you resist it, you have dukkha, you have frustration and suffering. But on the other hand, if you understand change, you don't cling to it, and you let it flow, then it's no problem. It becomes positively beautiful.
I like Jark.
He's the same thing. He's literally the same.
I just like the name Jark.
Right. So
it's like jerk.
It's very uncreative. It's like they just ran out of ideas a little bit. Yeah. So okay, so we got about a minute. I would love it.
And then what did you think about the politics?
Which politics now? Which ones?
Like, did you agree with me? Kind of like.
Oh, dude, I didn't listen to them. I'm so sorry. I just hadn't had the chance yet. I was working or talking to you guys. Sorry, I just didn't have the chance to. I will though. You're like, screw this guy. He didn't listen to the sides.
Okay. No. That's right. So, where'd you want to begin?
Like all good stories, we always have to begin at the beginning.
True. Are we at the beginning?
People think that we're high when we talk to one another. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
So I guess we're kind of feeding into that at this point.
Are we? This is the beginning, right?
Well, we got to start at the beginning.
Well, that's got to be here then. That's got to be where we're at.
Right.
So, what'd you hear this week?
This week?
Let's start with that. Did you hear anything interesting this week?
No, nothing that interesting, I guess.
Oh.
You mean?
I thought it was very interesting that the whole reason that the Democratic Party was pushing Hillary 2 years ago was because they thought Biden, because normally, the vice president always takes over. He always goes for the run after the president does his 2 terms, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't shove, Biden out there. They're like, no, we don't think you're up to it, old man. Like they literally like said, no, let's put her up there.
Well, they couldn't put both of them up at once because it would have been.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's just traditional. It's just so traditional to have that vice president go ahead and run for president. Mm-hmm. If he's done a pretty decent job over the last 8 years. So it was very strange to see him not run. But it's even stranger now because this week we hear
he's running.
Now he's going to run. He's got,
He was leading in the polls all the way up, so he was always the leader, even though he was unannounced. So he was definitely going to run.
Do you think that they made that decision based on seeing that people will vote for an old guy or an old person, I guess, since we voted Trump, as a country, I guess?
No, I think, last time.
He's old. What is he, 80?
That I don't know.
He's up there.
He's older.
Him and Biden are very similar, I think, right? In age.
Trump's younger.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I heard today Trump was talking about how he was so young. He's a young man.
The youngest. I'm the youngest.
And then he called Biden Sleepy Joe.
Did he really?
So the nicknames have started. And then Biden was commenting back on that saying, nobody's ever called me sleepy. And then they had a clip of Joe Biden back in the 2016 elections or something, or maybe it was for 2012 when he was with Obama.
Was he sleeping?
And he comes out on the podium and goes, I probably shouldn't tell you guys this, but I was sleeping. He was sleeping. And he was announcing it to like an election rally.
That's funny.
So
well, that's why I was wondering. Like, I thought when they are gearing up to run, they're already doing rallies and functions and dinners and all this stuff like for 2 years before they announce to really ramp up to it, don't they? Normally, and I know politics they've changed. I know things have changed, but I thought
there's a lot of backdoor meetings. Usually they get that's why usually they get the nod. It was always you get the nod from the establishment,
right?
The actual party before you announce within the party. Because otherwise, you could really mess up your chances.
By the time the convention rolls around, you're ready. The national convention.
Oh yeah. Well, by the time the convention rolls around, yeah,
they're totally solid on their picks by now.
Right.
That convention used to be where they picked the one to run years and years and years ago.
The Democratic Party, it still is, right? Because they got the super.
Yeah, it's more of a show though. It's a horse and pony show. It's faked. I mean, you don't see all the groups out there voting and changing their votes and this and that, and it just doesn't happen that way. The speeches don't mean much. They're just more like for pumping up. But by the end of the night, they pretty much pick. They're going to run the person that they had already picked out. Months before. That's what I'm saying. Like that person's already been doing rallies, already been doing dinners, and collecting money like crazy. Times have definitely changed.
But he's going to run, and that'll make it pretty interesting. I'll enjoy that.
So that's solid, right? That's locked in. You think?
That he's going to run?
Did he announce his running mate?
No, they don't announce that for a little while. He'll just try to become the nominee, and then
I hope he picks Bernie.
No, you don't.
I don't care. I think that.
I know you don't. I know you don't hope for that.
That'd be fun to watch, though.
Actually, the most entertaining thing right now, if Hillary Clinton joins the race, that, my friends, would be the best thing.
Is it ruled out? Is it 100% ruled out? I guess not, really, right?
No. I was talking to somebody who said the biggest juggernaut for the Democrats right now, if they wanted it, wouldn't have been Biden. It would have been Michelle Obama.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that would be a pretty.
I'm not going to run my vice president. I'm going to give you guys my wife. There you go.
And I'm coming back into the White House as the first.
Right, I'm not done yet. I had a few more parties I wanted to have.
Yeah, she'd be a juggernaut.
This time around, he's going to raise some hell. What they call him, no drama Obama, right? So this time around, it would be like you'd find him out in the Rose Garden in his underwear, from partying the night before.
Yeah, he's coming home. Like 2 a.m. and just kind of taking a presidential taxi in, and he's just drunk.
They'd have him. They'd be making fun of him like constantly, like behind the desk, and she'd come in and go, and he'd go, "Oh, yes, dear." Yes.
He has a vacation home in Chicago, and he's just hanging out there the whole time, drinking at bars while his wife's running the country. Like it takes him down, right? Like he doesn't realize it, but for some reason, yeah, it's never happened before. So the experience of being the first man, first lady is just what we learn is a torturous thing. And it takes the man down
beyond repair.
Yeah, no one could have been prepared to see what we were about to see as Obama as the first lady.
It would be funny. 5 Secret Service people, like in the bar, and he's just sitting there at the bar drinking, getting sloshed.
He walks around in a bathrobe the whole time.
Right. Down Michigan Avenue. What are you looking?
He's got a full.
Never seen a president in his underwear before.
Like a Bill Cosby beard. What are you looking at? You never seen a first lady win before?
Take a good look. You want to see it? Take a good look. Yeah, geez, right? Really, right? What the hell?
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I would like to see Biden run with Michelle. How interesting would that be? That would get the ticket.
So when you say that would be the ticket, do you mean you would actually want to vote for these people, or you're just saying that would be an interesting ticket?
I think I might just to watch the chaos unfold.
You just like
how crazy would that be to have?
That's
Michelle, the vice president,
which
they kind of said she was, during the last 8-year term. But
that's just the superstar ticket. That's the only reason you're thinking that would be interesting, because it's the superstar.
Well, that's how the Republicans do it. They they do so well. These freaking actors, the Ronald Reagans and the Donald Trumps of the world. Donald Trump was more of a Democrat than some of the Democrats that were in office. He just flip flopped. He switched over to the other party.
Well, Donald Trump was populist when he was running, so he actually wasn't very establishment. Michelle Obama and the Clinton and the Biden, they're very establishment. They're not populist at all.
I just remember listening to all his interviews from years and years ago, 10, 20 years ago, and he was always talking Democratic, always very left-leaning, not a radical, but very left-leaning. So it was weird when he was like, well, can't get on that ticket, I'll go over and talk to these guys, and ran on the Republican ticket and won. It's crazy. You think he's going to get another 4? Hard to say, huh?
Way too hard to say right now.
Yeah.
Not worth saying.
Not if Michelle Obama gets in there.
No. It'll be interesting to watch. We'll be here watching it. It'll be good.
So you want to divulge who you would vote for?
For what do you mean? If I was voting,
you're going to give this president another 4th term?
You know what? More interesting question would be, if you were voting in the Democratic Party's nomination for their elected, candidate, who would you vote for if you were voting in that party for the primaries?
If I was doing the primaries,
and this is very political. I mean, we should be focused a little bit more on the entertainment part of it.
I was gonna say I can't even think of give me a choice. Give me a multiple choice.
You want to? Okay. So the question is, you have to choose amongst which primary candidate.
Give me a list of potential if possible.
Okay. So Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay.
You have Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. You got Buttigieg. That's the Ohio governor. I think his pronunciation, I forget his actual pronunciation. It's like Buddha Peg or something. Like literally that's his name.
Okay.
And then you have Beto. And then you have, there's at least almost 20 of them. Then you have somebody from Minnesota who I don't even know her name because I just don't know her name. She hasn't made a name for herself here. And then you have you got Cory Booker. You got the guy from Texas. I already said Beto.
Oh, is Cory getting into the run? Okay.
Yep, Booker's been in it for a while.
I liked him for a while, but
Camilla, it's not Camilla, the singer, but she has the same sort of name, Kamala something.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
She's from California. Okay, so you're voting as the primary of the Democrats comes through state to state because they're going to select their candidate, and you have the choice between Biden, Beto, Bernie, and you have the choice between these Tulsi Gabbard types.
Yeah, I think a lot of those are a little too fresh. I think to beat Trump, you got to go with this, tried and true. I guess Biden.
Interesting. That's not very populist of you.
No, if I had to choose, though,
it's just not very popular.
I thought some of Bernie's stuff was good, but then they started exposing all this stuff that was weird. I don't know. It'd be either Bernie or Biden.
Bernie Sanders' most radical platform proposal is he wants it so that
socialism.
Jesus. That's what Fox News says. Technically, that's okay. Here's his. Let me give you the details.
All right.
His most radical platform proposal is to have felons and convicts, while in prison, have access and the right to continue to vote. So you'd have the entire penitentiary population continuing to vote in elections. How do you feel about that?
Wait, they can't now. They don't get to vote.
No, you don't. In fact, even when you're out as a felon with
felonies,
even when you're if you're listed as a felon, you can't vote even if you've done your time, which is interesting. Probably
that is interesting because why do we care about them voting if they're doing their time? I don't know. That's weird. It's like you're not even a citizen really anymore if you're in trouble or if you're serving your sentence. I don't know. I think if they're a legal citizen, they should still have a vote, right?
No. Here's the thing.
What do you think? I don't see a problem with it. I don't know.
I think if let's say you take someone who's done his time or her time and you release them back, then they should have the application to fulfill that they can return to their regular voting rights. Yeah. But
they should be able to vote again.
You imagine let me think of some of these mass shooters in the United States. Those guys would still have the right to vote. Do you want to turn that into a voting block? Because you're
saying after they do their time, or are you saying while they're still in there?
While they're still in their actively doing their time while they're on trial. I mean, anything. They were born in the United States. They're part of the system, and they should have a say in the formation of the country because they're here.
Well, and if I don't know, if they're born here and they're
Okay,
citizens,
so the argument on
why do you think they shouldn't? Why do you think they shouldn't have a voice in who runs this country?
if they're felons for something warrantable, like killing another person or mass shootings or something like that, it's the same how you would probably say technically you have to have a license to drive a car, right? So technically, it's not like everyone's given a car when they're born. You can earn it, and you can go buy one, and you can go drive one.
Right.
Technically, if you go around and the laws of the country have set it so that you've done something so bad that the people have said you're a threat to the society, which is basically what only people should be in prison for.
Yeah, but a vote isn't a weapon.
It will turn into a weapon if you make them a voting block, I think, is the argument.
I think I know where this is going.
What's the population of the...
I understand the message under the message. You know what they're saying is that this group, we think, is all going to vote in a certain way.
Well, there wouldn't...
And we're afraid of them voting that way, so we don't want that. What we're saying is, I mean, to not sugarcoat it, we're saying that all those felons and all the, jailed people are more likely to vote Democratic. That's why the Democrats want it to be allowed, and the Republicans don't. Is that fair to say?
No, I
think it's more gameplay is what I'm saying. I don't think it's...
I mean, possible.
If I thought, if I was in jail, even if I killed someone, okay, because he wouldn't stop parking on my side of the fucking curb, okay?
Okay, where's the body, Stiggs?
Totally theoretical.
Where's the body, damn it?
But anyway,
tell us where the body...
I'm in there serving my time. I can't vote on whether or not, this guy would be good for schools. I mean, what if I want better schools? I want the right guy to be in there for, better school systems,
So there are currently...
Just because I killed my neighbor, I can't vote on the next guy to come in or girl run this country properly?
So there are currently 2.3 million people currently locked up in the United States.
God, man, we sure jail the most of our own people.
So,
yeah, that's bad.
Wouldn't you rather have it be almost that...
Do we need them to vote? I guess not, but...
I don't know. That's seen as one of Bernie Sanders' most radical ideas. I haven't thought through it too much to have a real opinion on it. Maybe it's a good idea. But it is seen as a very radical idea. I mean, even people I was watching CNN the other day, and Don Lemon was on there, and he was wide-eyed while he was going, that's crazy.
So he thought they shouldn't be able to vote.
No, because he brought up kind of like what I was bringing up there, which was the most radical of criminals. But the majority of these people I just listed, they're not that. And you probably, if they have a say in voting, it's probably not the worst thing in the world. I guess I don't know why Bernie would make that part of his primary campaign. It seems like an odd thing to randomly throw in there so that if you're voting for Bernie because you like Medicare for all or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
Hey, Stiggs, do you think we're tunneling in on the political conversation a little bit too much here?
Oh, I guess so. I mean, it's interesting, though. It is interesting to think about,
I just don't think...
What kind of rights would you be stripped of when you are in trouble for something, Because like we said, that's weird. We can change the topic. That is interesting, though, to think about.
Let's switch to something more fun, because I do think that...
Well, this isn't awkward at all.
No. Crickets, right? Crick.
Let's switch to something else, but I don't know what that's going to be, but we definitely need to switch to something.
No, don't. I want to do something a little more entertaining than just...
What do you got?
Okay, so you had said, what do I see this week? And then you said Biden, and that was basically how this whole conversation spun into that, which was a good conversation.
So what else did you see this week?
So there's the new movie that came out. We're not going to review it. So don't expect us to review it. But guys, there was this new movie. It's a Marvel movie, and it came out.
But we're not going to review it.
No, because we haven't seen it.
Is that the end game? Is that?
Yeah, it's the big end game movie.
I've heard a lot of stuff about it. It wasn't as epic as people thought.
Is that what you heard?
It's just hard to cram all these superheroes. They said it's like, the biggest amount of superheroes in a story or a movie at once. So what did you hear? Are you going to go see it? I'll go see it, but...
No, I won't, because I haven't seen any of the other ones leading up to it,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. I get kind of lost.
Apparently a bunch of people disappeared in the last movie, so now we're supposed to watch them try to rescue them to make them appear again. And I don't know why they disappeared or who Thanos Thanos is, or whatever his name is. So yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, Thanos, yeah.
Or the ring. You know how the jewelry you see everywhere.
The guy with the jewelry.
Those commercials and those co-sponsorships don't do anything for me because I have no idea where they're from.
Right.
Or what that ring does. It actually looks kind of childish. It looks like a Burger King toy is what it looks like.
It is a Burger King toy right now.
I would assume.
Actually. And Geico.
I saw their commercial.
Yeah.
With the little frog.
You mean lizard?
Yes.
Well, you've seen Green Lantern, so you know what the Green Stone is all about. You saw Odd Green Lantern. Did you watch Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
And you saw the Yellowstone, and the guy turns totally evil by using the Yellowstone in his ring. So it's along those lines. It's the Lantern series, basically, from what I understand.
Wow.
So when he harnesses all of those, the powers of all of them, there is no defeating him, I guess. So I don't know what Endgame is about.
How is that an entertaining movie?
I'm with you. I mean, if they don't have innuendo and funny jokes and stuff, I really, it kind of gets lost on me too, because these fight scenes and action scenes are just out of control now. They have so many what do they call that? Jump cuts. I don't know who's fighting who. Whose fist was that? I don't know. You just got to wait until the dust settles and see who's laying on the ground and go, oh, okay, so those guys won. Okay, hey, good job. Jason Bourne started that. The Bourne movies got that rolling, and it hasn't been the same since. You know what I watched the other day? I watched a 10-minute video on building a shed or something or whatever this guy was building, and he had a special plan to it and stuff. So I watched it. I'm a carpenter. I like watching that stuff. And he had jump cuts. He had literally jump cuts on a shed building video. So I got about 2 minutes into it, and I went down to the comments. I said, this is not a Jason Bourne fucking video. So you can stop with all the jump cuts like this is an action sequence or something. When you fix your videos, I'd love to see how you made this shed. Thanks. Kind of rage quit, a shed video. That's how bad it's gotten. So it's trickled down through the society.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, because it's always a good one.
It's always a good one?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Ask away.
If you were to try to become a movie director, or in this day and age, you're trying to enter directing movies and Hollywood thing.
If I haven't already, is what you're assuming.
What would be yes?
Okay.
Pornos don't count.
Oh, well then.
They don't count.
Okay. All right.
Now you're trying to enter the actual established Hollywood thing where you can direct big movies. They're going to draw your name. How would you launch it? Your strategy on it? What would you do? So you're starting from your just regular base here. You're just a dude who has a camera and a lot of knowledge on editing and everything else.
Did you say doo-doo?
No,
okay.
A dude who.
Oh, okay. A dude who.
A dude who.
Okay.
All right, go.
All right, say it again.
Oh,
I didn't hear what you said. All I heard was doo-doo.
Okay, so you're trying to become a guy who can direct movies, and you get picked for bigger movies and bigger stuff, like production budgets that you don't have.
Oh, okay.
And you're starting from scratch. What's your strategy? Do you have of course you don't have one. This is theoretical. I also don't have one.
What's your strategy? I know you don't got one, but what is it?
What would your strategy be?
My strategy would be if I all of a sudden I was making independent films, I was small time, and then I got thrown into the big fish pond. Is that what you're saying?
You're trying to get noticed by the big fish pond.
So I got a budget. I have a good budget this time, and I'm trying to get noticed.
You have a budget, but I
thought you said it's big film budget.
You're trying to get pulled to be one of these bigger directors, but right now all you are is an indie movie director, and you have a portfolio, so actors.
My shit's awesome, but they're not noticing you.
Actors they'll work for you, no one famous, basically for free, because they're also trying to get kind of noticed.
Oh.
And they're genuinely actors.
Okay.
Because that's how these independent filmers do this, I believe. But you're not, basically, the content you make doesn't get watched. It basically goes straight to Amazon Video or goes straight to just free online or your website. But you can make short movies. What's your strategy to get from point A to point B? If you don't have a strategy, maybe that's what you should start thinking about.
I guess so. In this scenario, I'm almost ready to hang myself with a belt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Only going to Amazon.
No
one will work for me.
The situation has depressed me, and I'm not even trying to do this.
Wow.
There's no way out, dude.
Am I living in a third world country somewhere? Is this
No, you can do whatever you want.
well, that's not what you just said 10 minutes ago. I can't do shit.
You're not getting selected by anyone, but you're just trying to break into that scene.
So you're saying how do I crash the Hollywood party?
How do you crash the wall?
Basically, I guess what you do.
I say you do something super controversial, because controversy gets you into the hot spotlight, and then from there...
Well, don't you think they do that all the time?
No.
I think they get shunned for that stuff. Don't forget, there's that other ugly side of Hollywood where they shun you. Shunned.
Well, what do you mean by...
I don't know. I guess you have to, so to get into the big party, I guess you have to join the pedophile ring, and then you have to talk to the Illuminati and join their club, and then...
Okay, so I should tell you the story. So
get money from the Koch brothers? I don't know.
This kind of plays into that. When I was at work this week, I told you I had to go through a 4-hour appreciating differences diversity class, and like one of in the meeting, we split off into groups, and they would have us, how would you approach this person if they came up to you and told you this? And our example was, there's a man, you're talking to him, he's an employee, fellow co-worker of yours, and he comes up to you and he says, all these diversity rules are totally holding us back, and they won't let the white guy win. Okay, basically, this is the example. They go, this person, and then this example says, Betty da-da-da wouldn't even be in her position if she wasn't a minority, and da-da-da wouldn't be in his position if he wasn't a minority. They're not even good workers, and they're holding people like me back. Okay, so this is an example. An employee walks up to you, or a fellow coworker, and says that, and then what's your response supposed to be? So after the person at our table,
I must report you to human services or whatever.
You should have heard some of the answers. You probably would have been like, oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Yeah, but it was after they read some of the things, there were a little more radical things like that, like a little more radical examples even than that one.
Yeah.
So one time when one of the people at my table is done reading the example and everyone's just kind of silent, I go, Infowars.com.
What?
Yeah, because it ended, I forget how it ended, but it ended perfectly. So it was basically, it sounded like a pitch for Infowars.com, but it just had that part missing. So then that guy finishes reading it, and then I just go, read more at Infowars.com.
All right, so smartass, what is your way to break into big Hollywood? How do you do it?
I'll tell you how to do it. So like I said, you do something.
I'll tell you how to do it. All right.
I'll put the check in the mail for my consultation.
I guess.
What you do is so if you can't think of something controversial, that you don't do something racist, you don't do something that Hollywood would despise, you do something that they would like, but still controversial. I've talked about this before. You take down companies, okay? That gets controversial. You're like an investigation journalist, but it's a little bit more
like Michael Meyer or whatever.
Yeah. I would do the one where I would take down the ride-sharing companies.
I agree if you're talking about the scooter riding, sharing. Those fucking things are a nightmare. Oh my God. That's what you're talking about, right?
No, I'm talking about Uber and Lyft, because you could take those down.
No, I think they do own 2 of these. God, I don't know.
You want to talk about it, Stiggs?
Yeah.
You got some scooter
I've
problems?
never seen, it's springtime, so they're starting to pop back up again, all these damn scooters. You can't walk down the street here in Chicago without tripping over 9 of them. It's just insane. You guys have those, don't you?
Yeah, I just heard them on the radio. They were saying there's now 2 companies contracted where I live,
okay,
and there's going to be over 1,100 scooters moved into basically the area.
Oh, minimum. When they say that, they mean 5,000. It's insane. These things are nuts.
You sound very spiteful against it.
Oh, they're nuts. They're everywhere you go. I mean, I thought the bikes were bad, but those have all little docking bays where they have 10 or 20 of them lined up and plugged in and sitting there. These things are they're sitting on the corner. They're just anywhere you walk around, oh, hey, scooter. All right, thanks. It's insane. You trip over them. You see these kids just running through red lights. They're gonna get killed. It's just nuts. Anyway, that's my mild opinion.
So mild mannered.
I'm telling you, they're neat.
You sound like an old
They're
man. The kids are bad, and they're
getting killed. They're getting run over. They're running. It's just unsafe. Crazy.
Hold on.
I worry. What do they say? I weep for the future.
No.
They're a mess. You're tripping over them wherever you walk. People are zipping down the sidewalks on them, and people are coming out of doorways and just getting plowed. It's just nuts. they're just nuts. There is no scooter-only lane in town here, so
Yeah.
there's nowhere for them to go. They just go anywhere. There's no ordinances against them. And, I noticed that they started showing up this week and last week. I thought, oh god, here we go with the scooters again. They disappeared for the winter.
Yeah, I saw them when I was walking to work.
Yeah.
They don't bug me as much as they bug you, though. They definitely bug you.
Well, I don't know if you guys have as many as we do. We have like tons of them. Tons.
We have enough of them.
There's like 3 or 4 different companies here. We got lime, we got green ones, orange ones, red ones, black ones.
I just don't like the fact that no one's ever using them, and then it's like,
oh god,
it's just waste is what it looks like to me.
Come to Chicago.
But I'm not worried about people's safety. That's natural selection. If they get on there and destroy their own lives.
Well, the poor old lady walking out of the jewelry store with her new brooch, gets run over by this 20-something.
She's gonna be fine. It's the stoned kid.
Yeah.
Coming down Fifth Avenue. He's totally high. He's got a doobie in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's coming home from his job at Domino's.
Or on his way there, whatever.
Yeah, lighting his joint right before he gets on. He plugs it in, and then he gets onto his scooter. Here he comes. Got his headphones on.
That's what will be next. They'll be delivering pizzas on him.
Coming down.
Yeah.
His eyes are just bloodshot, like the stoplight that he's approaching.
And
blood red.
Margaret Johnson is coming out of the jewelry store,
No, here comes the semi-truck.
Oh, you went darker.
Here comes the... Okay. But the nice thing, this guy's so high, he's not going to feel it.
Not for more than 5 seconds, I guess.
He's not even going to see it coming because he's going to go right through that stoplight.
He's going to
go right through that stoplight.
Yeah.
And then bam.
Oh, yeah. They think that everyone's just going to stop for him.
No, they're just not used to stopping. Nobody has been, no one's ridden scooters their whole life. But I don't feel necessarily bad for them. That's natural.
Oh, yeah. If they're being morons and the truck driver's okay, then that's fine. If he was to run into that guy and he killed the truck driver or something like that, that'd be kind of shitty. Anyway, I just think they're just a pain in the ass. They're such a pain in the ass.
Are you done with this sidetrack now?
Yeah.
You pulled us all the way to the scooter.
Where were we?
Orbit of hell.
What were you talking about?
Breaking into
something interesting. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't.
No, probably not. No, I was breaking into the industry, but I didn't really have a good plan for it.
What do you got?
I got no strategy, man. Otherwise, I'd be doing it.
Oh.
Maybe.
Okay. I don't know. You said something about you were going to take down the Ubers, and I was like, all right, sweet. And then you could make video or make a blockbuster.
All right, let's cut. Okay, well, let's take a break for a moment.
Yes.
How do you think it's going?
I like when we go deep.
Do you?
I don't know. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I have fun either way. From what I understand, people just do like when we're just talking, but I know you don't.
I like being entertained. That is.
I think we did a lot of that last week. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think we are entertaining when we just
The political conversation actually went pretty well, considering. Until we started actually arguing over the specific policy of whether or not convicts should be able to vote. Because let's be honest, both of us are not educated enough to make those arguments right now on that topic.
No, that's why
that was bound to happen.
That's why I'm confused about it. I really do believe that's just a party thing. I really do, but I don't know. You're right.
But if we were to upload content on that, just on up and through and to when we started talking specifically about the convicts.
Oh yeah, they would call it
good.
Yeah, 2 guys rambling. I don't need to do this.
Uneducated, as in somebody might be able to literally post a stat down there that makes it so that somebody sounds like a jackass the whole time without knowing it and be like, oh, yep, true. There you go, guys. Wish if we would have done a little bit of Google, maybe. But up and through and to that was pretty good. By the way, did you see this Colorado accident? Look at this guy.
Oh, did Jelena post in here?
Where? No.
Oh, I thought she came in here and posted. I thought she posted something right under your Matt B's.
Should I post that inside the regular Discord? The rec room?
Shoot. Let me read it real quick. So, I see what you're saying. Okay, you're just saying no, because they won't get it. And I don't know how many people in there actually watch Bees anymore. I was kind of wondering about that. I was going to take a poll, but that'd be like a double entendre, I guess. Let's take a poll. Any of you guys listen to that guy that takes a poll? Nope. What was I saying? No, I wouldn't go in the rec room. I saw you went to the rec room already while we were recording. Apparently, you're able to do 2 things at once.
I wasn't in the rec room, was I?
Yeah.
No, when?
when we started getting going here, I was talking. I was going on a tirade on the.
Is that true? Then we've been going over an hour. Because last time I posted in the record room 10:28 p.m.
Yeah.
We better start something.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.